Hi, I'm Jay. This is Dave, and we're back for another Dave and Jay show.
Man.
And today we're going to talk about crime and punishment, or should I say inadequate punishment. And you know, actually it's been my experience over the last number of years that it seems to be almost politically incorrect to even use the word punishment anymore, according to our liberated, moderate and liberal society that we live in. And I wonder, can we use the words consequences, or can we use deterrence even? Because it seems like the whole emphasis of our legal system, I don't even call it a justice system anymore, is on rehabilitating the criminals rather than on victims' rights or preventing crime. It's about rehabilitating the poor, downtrodden criminal.
Well, it's about the mentality that these poor criminals are victims themselves.
That's right.
You know, poor society has dealt some of these people a really nasty hand of cards, Jay. So they have every right to be out there victimizing us and attacking us and killing us because, oh my gosh, they had a tough childhood, Jay. So that whole mentality, I kind of thought we had got beyond that, but you're right about the word political correctness. It seems that even a teenager, and teenagers today seem to have more leeway, maybe even than when you and I were growing up, because I know if I did something when I was 16, my family would be after me, but for sure, if I broke a law, the police would be after me, and there would be a consequence,
well,
Jay.
and
there isn't anymore.
Dare I say, even your name would have been used, which is against the law anymore. I mean, they got to protect their identity.
We've got the case of this 16-year-old Aboriginal youth who has been charged with trying to kill a German tourist on a road in Morley, driving up beside his car and shooting him in the head for seemingly something to do.
Yeah. We don't know if there was a motive and what that motive would be, but
it seems like in this case, even if, and we don't know this yet, even if he's convicted, his sentence, Jay, will be minimal as a 16-year-old.
A couple of years.
Couple of years in custody, another year maybe keeping your nose clean, house arrest, and that's going to be it. So there is no accountability, it seems, for somebody in that circumstance, and I know there's many other examples we could find. But 16, there's a debate going on in some places about whether 16-year-olds should have the right to vote. Well, if you have the right to vote, you pretty much have consequences for your actions. You should be held accountable if you do something criminal.
You would think so. I think that we are rapidly reaching a point, and I don't advocate vigilante justice. I know you don't either.
No, of course not.
But we're rapidly reaching a point where citizens are going to take the law into their own hands if you don't see justice in the legal system.
Right.
And I mean, what person would say that this family, and there was 3 other people, the gentleman's wife and his daughter and son-in-law, were all in the vehicle. They could have all been killed when the driver's shot in the head and it goes off the road and ends up hitting a tree. So this young youth that shot this German tourist in the head could have killed an entire family. And is it justice that he will only receive at a maximum 2 years incarceration?
You can hear the arguments already, Jay, in court. This poor young Aboriginal youth, you know, disadvantaged. Maybe he had a relative in the residential school system. You know, we all know it by heart now, the kind of defense. There'll be lots of them. One person, I'm reading about the criminal justice system, and our rates of incarceration in Canada are about mid-pack. I mean, we're about middle of other nations. It's not extreme. But if you hear the critics talk about it, it sounds like, you know, Aboriginals are the only people who are incarcerated in Canada. One guy said, prisons are the new residential schools.
Oh my God.
Isn't that unbelievable, Jay? But that's where this debate is going. Nobody's responsible.
Exactly. But you know, my feeling is that there's got to be some middle ground between the Old West, when someone stole a man's horse, they strung him up. There was no judge, and there has to be something between that and a 2-year sentence.
For shooting somebody in the head.
Exactly.
I agree.
So thanks for watching the show today. Remember to push the button to subscribe to our YouTube channel and continue to engage on these important topics.